I did it! I actually did it! I found a hidden gem. Today we are analyzing a hidden gem called StuntMANIA Reloaded. Hi everyone, as always Patrick here. If you're already subscribed, make sure you turn on notifications, otherwise YouTube won't tell you if I posted anything. If you are new to the channel, make sure you watch until the very end and consider subscribing if you like it. Okay, StuntMANIA Reloaded. StuntMANIA Reloaded was developed by Sector 3 Games and published by Bigger Boat back in 2014. Shout out to both of those studios. Now let's start analyzing this hidden gem by talking about the graphics. I'll admit it, for a game in 2014, the graphics aren't very good, especially when you compare to other games at the time. Now, the game is made by by a very small studio, so I can kinda forgive that, but I still think that this game doesn't look good graphically, even in 2014. To prove my point, let's compare the graphics of this game to other games that also came out in 2014. WRC Power Slide, Racer 8, Greatest Drivers, the PC release of Colin McRae Rally 2013, Speed Rally Pro 2, Rally Racing Arcade, Solar Rally, and of course, Assetto Corsa. And also The Crew, I almost forgot about that one. Obviously, StuntMANIA Reloaded cannot compete with Assetto Corsa and The Crew, and when you compare it to other games I've just mentioned, well, StuntMANIA Reloaded looks worse than all of those games I've mentioned. But you know what? I can give it a pass. It's a hidden gem, not many people know about this game, and I don't think a lot of people actually will know about it, even though I'm making a video about it. Well, still, this doesn't excuse the fact that the graphics aren't very good. Some maps look good, but the graphics aren't very good. Still, I can give it a pass because, well, it's a hidden gem. What about the options? Well, this is the game that runs on the Unity engine. More specifically, Unity Engine 4. So, yeah, in case you don't know, I actually don't like the Unity engine at all. I think it's overused and a lot of people just can't make good games on it. However, there are some hidden gems on the Unity engine, and like I've said before, this is one of them. So, yeah. As for, anyway, the options. Well, the game does work in widescreen resolutions such as 1080p, it even works in 4K. There are some graphical options you can customize, but there's not much to customize, to be honest. Why? Well, there's no anti-aliasing, there's no anisotropic filtering, but those are minor problems in this game actually, because there are two big problems. One, the first big problem, well, the game has a 101 FPS cap, which is a weird number for an FPS cap. Why couldn't this cap be 120 FPS, for example? I have no idea, but the game has 101 FPS cap. So if you have a pretty good monitor nowadays, well, you will encounter stuttering. That's not good. And the second big problem, there's no FOV slider. And in this case, in this game, it is actually a big problem since the default FOV is kinda bad. And also you can't change it. Like, there's no workaround for it. So you're stuck with a low FOV. I don't like this, but I just have to deal with it. Like, if there's no workaround, the best thing I can do is just put on my big boy pants and uh, accept the fact that this game doesn't have those features, the FOV. I'm still gonna complain about it, but this one time I just have to put my big boy pants on because there's no workaround for this. What about the stability? The game didn't lag, didn't stutter, but it crashed a few times, which is actually pretty disappointing. I have no idea why it crashes. It crashed when I left the game or when I completed the stage sometimes. The game does have autosave, so I didn't lose any progress, but yeah, I just don't understand why it crashes. It doesn't crash all the time, it doesn't crash every single time this happens, but it did crash for me a couple times when I was recording. That's unfortunate. So what can I say? The PC release isn't exactly the best PC release out there. Mm, I I think it can be improved, but I don't think this game gets any updates. So yeah, the PC release could be improved. Okay, now let's talk about the story. As you would expect from this kind of game, there is no story at all in this game. Normally I would complain about this, but you know what? I can give it a pass. If the gameplay is amazing and the graphics are at least decent, sadly the graphics aren't decent, they're not good, but still, I can forgive this game because if your gameplay, I can give this game a pass because if the gameplay is good and the graphics are fine, somewhat decent, then I can completely ignore this aspect. But now that I think about it, even if this game had a story, what would it be about? I actually have no clue. So maybe it's a good thing that this game doesn't have a story. At least I don't have to talk about it and I can just move on to the gameplay. And speaking of the gameplay, this is the main reason why I call this game a hidden gem. Here's why. Short answer: good RC cars, good maps, good physics for the most part anyways, good game modes and cool power-ups. Let me go through all of those things one by one. Starting with the game modes. The first game mode in the game is the Go Crazy mode. This is basically the mode you're watching right now. You basically go crazy. You have medals and metal pieces you have to collect to unlock new RC cars, new maps, and new game modes. You also have batteries to collect, red, green, and yellow batteries. And I hate to say it, but those batteries don't do anything. Like, you don't get anything from collecting them at all. Well, okay, you get an achievement for collecting them, but I'm not an achievement hunter, so I really don't care about them. And you can also collect power-ups, but more about those power-ups later in the video. Another game mode is the All-Stars game mode. In this game modes you have 11 stars to collect all across the map. You have to collect them in the correct order though. Those stars are numbered, so don't worry. You will always know which one to collect. Also, you get an arrow pointing towards the star you need to correct. You need to collect, and it always shows the correct one, so you don't have to worry about collecting the wrong one, unless you accidentally collect the wrong one, but that's besides the point. Once you collect all 11 stars in the correct order, you win, and that's amazing. Next up we have the bonus roundup. In this mode you have to collect a specific number of batteries to complete the level. That's it. Next up we have Speed Freak. In Speed Freak you have a meter to fill up. Every time you're speeding and every time you're airborne, you can fill up the meter. And you're also on a timer, but it's you have unlimited time. It just shows you how long it's taking you to do this. Sorry for that little there. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, once you fill up the meter by being airborne and speeding while being airborne for long enough, you win. And this is also the mode where where a very funny glitch comes in handy. You've probably already seen this glitch, but I will talk about it later. And the final mode in this game is the ticking clock mode. You have 5 minutes to get the best score. There's no specific score you need to reach, you just have to do your best to beat your own score. And that's it. Those were all the game modes. Now let's quickly talk about the power-ups. The power-ups in this game are awesome. Each level has randomly placed power-ups for you to find, and when you do find them, you will have some amazing new abilities to help you reach even the highest points in a level or the hardest to find areas. Those power-ups include Nitro, Super Jump, Drift, Mirror, Teleport, Anti-Gravity, and Mega Health. Once you collect them, you have them for good. Well, sort of. In Go Crazy mode, you can have them for as long as you want. If you quit the level, you lose the power-ups and you have to get them again, but it's not a big problem, honestly. They are in fixed locations, so you should be able to get them without any problems again. As for other modes, well, once you complete the levels in those game modes, the power-ups disappear and you have to get them again if you want to play the level again. But other than that, yeah, for the most part, especially in the Go Crazy mode, you have those power-ups for good. Or for a very long time. Now let's quickly talk about the cars and maps. I'm gonna start with the cars. There are 11 unique cars in the game. You can select any of the 11 amazing stunt cars, each with differing suspension, weight and handling. Any car can be played in any level in any game mode from an easy to navigate game selection menu. Well, once you have unlocked them. I'm not really gonna name all of them. If I do, because if I do, I will spoil the fun for you. Also, I have one more thing to add to this. Despite the fact that I've mentioned that all have different suspensions, weight and handling, well, this is kinda true, but not really. Most cars behave the same. Some of them are easier to control, some of them are harder. Some of them are more grippy, some of them are less grippy, some of them are more twitchy or less twitchy depending on the car you're using. Some of them are more slidey than others, but well, honestly, a lot of them are slidey. But still, those kinds of things is what actually makes the driving fun in this game. Despite the fact that they are all similar to each other in most ways, they are still different from each other. There's not much difference, but the difference is there, and the difference is what makes driving those vehicles fun, as I've said before. There is one thing I have to complain about though. Every car, or well, almost every car, let's give the game the benefit of the doubt. Almost every car in the game sounds the same, and the sound design isn't very impressive, unfortunately. Again, I can give this game a pass. I didn't really expect much when it comes to sound design. So I guess you can call it I guess you can say that I had low expectations and whatnot, but Honestly, I can't complain too much about the sound design, even though it is pretty bad. Now let's talk about the maps. There are 11 amazing levels in the game. You can choose from 11 unique driving environments filled with stunt and trick ramps, bonuses and hidden challenges, including an awesome power-ups that will allow you to take your tricks to a whole new level. Again, I'm not gonna name all the maps because if I do, I will ruin the fun for you, but I will do something different in this section. I will say this, some of the maps are big and well designed and have a lot of ramps and other stuff like this one, called the island, but there are also some smaller ones that are, well, smaller as I've said, but they are also well designed and I think the smaller maps are actually mm, better in terms of design. Smaller maps such as the rooftop, the mini golf court, and few other smaller maps. Each map has something for everyone, that's all I'm gonna say. I also can't forget to talk about the physics. The physics in StuntMANIA Reloaded are not perfect, but they get the job done. Since StuntMANIA Reloaded, as the name suggests, is all about stunts and doing a lot of stunts, the physics need to be somewhat decent, or as I've said before, they have to get the job done in order to do fun stunts. And luckily, the game delivers those fun physics. I'm not gonna go into detail here because I want you to experience the game for yourself, but I will say this. The physics are designed perfectly in a way that it it really feels like the handling is fast paced, and it also encourages you to do amazing tricks and stunts, well, as the name suggests. You can also perform many mid-air stunts including flips, twists and flat spins. You can also automatically reorient the car, which is a good thing. The reason why I didn't do this in this footage is because, well, I was trying to have fun, so I didn't really care about correcting myself there. But all I can say is the physics are fun. They're not perfect. No, by all means, no, but they get the job done. Despite the fact that the game is a hidden gem to me, and quite possibly it will be a hidden gem to many others, I have to talk about some bad stuff, unfortunately. Where do I start? Let's start with the glitches. Yes, the game is very glitchy. Sometimes you will just destroy yourself for no reason at all, and some other stupid things can happen on pretty much every map. No map is safe from glitches, unfortunately, in this game. Also, there is a one a good glitch, one good glitch, and probably the only good glitch that is helpful when you're playing the Speed Freak game mode. In this game mode, as you know, you have to go fast and be in the air for most of the time. So this glitch launches you to space, so you become an astronaut after you respawn after doing the boom boom. And this is helpful in this mode because you need airtime, you can only fill that bar with the airtime. So this is the pretty much the only time this glitch is useful. In other modes, it's kind of distracting, and I don't really like that. As I've mentioned in the beginning of the video, the graphics are bad, but let's be honest, you all know that by now, so I'll just move on to the final complaint. Well, the final complaint is for one of the maps, the mini golf map to be exact. In this mini golf map, you can go out of bounds. Well, actually, you can go out of bounds in almost every map. But regardless, when you go out of bounds on this map, you will be able to find a unique yellow teleport. I think to myself, oh cool, a hidden new feature, I wonder what this does. So you go through the teleport and it takes you back to start. And when you use this teleport, it never shows up again. So what's the point of this teleport? When it comes to other problems and other downsides, I'll just leave them for you because the video is already way too long and I don't really like making long videos nowadays, even though they always turn out this way. They always turn out to be long. But other than that, those other problems I want to talk about are just minor things, so you won't really have time to notice them. Unless you're me and you're trying to make an analysis video and try to find everything you can. Sadly, even though I try my best to cover everything, I can't cover everything. There is always something I keep forgetting. And in this case, it's the bad stuff. But honestly, I can okay, I'll say this one last time. I'll give it a pass because it's a hidden gem, okay? In conclusion, StuntMANIA Reloaded is a hidden gem. The game is fun, I never get frustrated when I play it, which for me is something pretty big. Well, most of the time anyways. Another thing I can say is that the game has fun game modes, has fun RC cars, has good physics for the most part. Some glitches are pretty cool and funny, despite the fact they are sometimes annoying, but for the most part they are funny. And what can I say? I just had a good time playing this game. Now, it's not the best game I've ever played. Oh no, this game doesn't deserve the best game of all time title. Definitely not. But I can still recommend the game. Actually, I can easily recommend the game because the game is pretty fun. It's just fun. The game is all about fun. There's nothing I can complain about when it comes to the fun aspect of the game. I just had a lot of fun. And when I have a bad day, I just play this, and after playing this game, my day is better. And that's why I like this game so much. And also some other reasons, but I've already listed those reasons before in the video. Another good thing is that the game is very cheap on Steam, so yeah, just go buy it. It's really cheap. I don't remember the price right now, but it's very cheap. It doesn't go on sale very often though, which is kind of disappointing, but other than that, but even then, it's still pretty cheap, and I definitely recommend you getting this game. So, all I can say is go buy the game, and I hope you will have fun with the game. Because trust me, it is a hidden gem. But that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say in this analysis video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.